watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief. Offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound? Like the freeze that's coming down. Barren space where nothing grows. A secret place where no one goes.
Well, all right. Hey there, family. We're ready to play Old Gods of Appalachia, our actual play here through a game based on the podcast of the same name. And if you've been following along with our stuff at all, you will have known that there are many, many adventures and dark things that our characters have found together. And we have found out times before exactly how Charlie and Avi had first connected before the things that brought them over to North Carolina. And now we're going to go back in time once more and see what may have happened between the people we now know as Charlie and Ruby. So, without too much further ado, we're going to hop in there, and we hope you have fun with us and enjoy our little story. Now, family. Family means all types of things in Appalachia. Whether it be that of blood or just the people who you identify as yours and they identify you as theirs. These hills, you don't get off too much on your own. You do everything by yourself, you ain't last long around here. But you also can't be too friendly neither. You can't just willy-nilly accept people or share the holidays with them. No. Because in one way or the other, everybody's out for their own. Except, of course, family. Once you're family, there ain't no breaking those bonds. And you ain't never, ever betray that name. Family. Whether by blood, circumstance, that sticks with you. And that is why we find ourselves in Stonega, Virginia, sometime before 1920. Now, to say that a dance in Stonega was looked upon with some suspicion, well, you might as well be calling a cougar a pussycat. There is plenty who don't like that type of thing, those who look down their noses at it, but well, people don't really care that much. At least those putting on this dance that we're about to go on here, especially Miss Odessa. Miss Odessa, born Odessa Winburn, married Odessa Winburn Malloy. Most everyone calls her Miss Odessa in these parts, and she's everyone's granny and no one's sweetheart, and that's just fine by her. But you need fixing, cursing, or general magic making, you come right up to her and she'll fix you up fine. And she is the grand organizer of types here. And since he's here, everyone knows better than to put their nose too far down. And but there's others Here at this dance, there's of course Dayon Beatty long ago, who dreamed of riding the rails, going somewhere they would take him, but now he's just a foreman at the mine, and only goes places in his imagination. A bit reserved, he's hard to get to know, but he's not afraid of getting his hands dirty for the right price, or the right amount of power. And there's a few others. Gaines Corney, who works the mines and works the whiskey all night. But he keeps on. Wicked sense of humor. Wild teenage boys. Aurelia Norman, who don't like people half as well as she likes her animals, but she does believe in the power of community. Florence Effie Thomas, a tall, strong woman with a long black braid and the world's best apple stack cake recipe, and perhaps a too intimate knowledge of everyone's goings-on. She's also got a voice to make you weep, but she lifts her voice and sings, whether at church, in a play, or as part of the band. You can feel free, you can feel your cares fall away and your mouth turn up in a smile. Now, where we are about to go, Ruthie, you have found yourself here doing odd jobs, getting ready to go where you want to go next. Chuck, what you know the best here is Lainey. That is Opaline Reeves to those who don't know her. Most people aren't you in the band. She's the leader of Stonega's beloved local band, Fiddlin' Opaline and the Shape Notes. This young woman has the fastest hands and the sassiest tunes this side of West Virginia line. And she grew up in these parts and often helps her ma out at the general store. But anyone can see it's the music that lights her up inside. All together here is where we have the dance beginning. Now it is at the local community center, which is a lively affair and brings out a good portion of the community dressed in their finest and ready to chat, and all those who know that they're people and those people who think dancing is going to take you into darkness and despair, that there's a line. Especially those who are familiar with Granny Odessa know that dancing is sometimes the only thing that can save you. So, the band is beginning to set up, and Chuck, you haven't had too much to do here. You got your pieces in, and rather, you have some time before things begin, as do you, Ruthie, and now you both have time to go about the dance and do anything you'd like to do.
I think Ruthie she's probably been here for a few weeks, and she probably knows all the eligible bachelors, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to like scope out which ones would be the best to dance with in this.
I like that. Give me a challenge a little bit here.
Okay. Already. Oh goodness. Ooh, 15?
I like that. Yeah. Taking another crowd, I think your side eventually does fall on Dayon Beatty. The only other that sort of gets you is Gaines Corney, but he's got two teenage boys, and well, that might just be a bit too much for your liking. But he's a quiet folk in his way, and you can see he is here enjoying himself. And what most might describe him, whether they mean it in compliment or as a curse, is he is ambitious.
All right, so she's got him in her sights. She needs some liquid courage.
Of course. And as you know, there is asking as things are being set up. Some people can go ahead and ask for the sun tea. They can ask for the sweet tea. They can even ask for hot tea. But for what you're looking for, you need to, just to ask for tea.
Yeah.
And you'll get what you need.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's going to go looking for some tea. She's going to go asking for some tea.
And of course, it is at a venue such as this, giving you a nice cup with a lid so the scent does not alert others to the unusual nature of the concoction behind, and to let them wonder for themselves what might get you more wild instead of calm down. So you drink it and feeling yourself a little bit more ambitious. As this is going, what's Chuck's main things he begins to survey this place so far as he's with the shape notes here?
Okay, so the shape notes are a local group?
They are.
Okay, so I think maybe Chuck has been in town for a little bit. He sort of got himself to help them with backing music, but he's not as familiar with the place or the area, so he's kind of scoping out the room, and I'm going to say he's also sort of scoping out, some of the young ladies who might be around, who he might want to make eye contact with while he's playing, and just trying to get a feel for what the limits are and the kind of music that they're going to play here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say this music you get a lot of picking. Not a lot of strumming. People are ready to go, and there's a sense here that this is almost the toughest crowd you may ever play in your life. It is a culmination of people who spend their time with what they do when they're not at the mines, picking at a fiddle or picking at a guitar, and have been done so, some of them, since they were 5 years old, and they're pushing 60, and some grew up with person after person who that's all that they were taught. And so here in this part of Appalachia, picking's a big deal. Everyone can do it. And for a band to take it, it is them saying they are better than everybody else in this room, and you're going to learn something as you enjoy yourself.
I think that Chuck is thinking to himself with where things are. He's a little cocky about that. He's like, I used to pick. I know I'm going back to some of my roots here, some away from Memphis, but I can hang. I proved myself to Miss Opaline. She took me on, so I can hang with the folks here.
Yeah. Of course, the style you learn in Memphis, a lot of people around here call the lazy music. That was people who want to make money but don't want to work hard at actually playing at something. And but all the same, they recognize that you made your place here. And of course, you can see young Ruthie moving about and have her sights on Dayon Beatty a little bit. But other than that, there aren't many. I mean, there's various people, and you have all ages, but not too much else. Anything y'all want to get up before the dance would begin here?
I don't. Ruthie's just finishing up her drink so she can get the courage to go and ask this Dion, right?
Yeah.
Dion, if he dance with her, or maybe try and get his attention. I don't know how she's gonna do it. She's trying to figure out her seductive side. So.
Absolutely. Give me an intellect challenge here. I'll get the link here as you come in here. That's going to kind of give you your position.
Mm-hmm.
First impression, one could say.
All right. Oh, 18.
All right. You got the name, and as you walk up to Dion, it's almost like you put on those movies that you were able to sneak in and watch, those moving pictures that no one wanted you to see because there's no business for it. And those all women who you saw running that house where only women lived and men only visited at night. And you take all that, roll it up, and are able to put it into something that turns this young man's head a little bit as he turns. Well, hello. I don't think I've had the pleasure. Dayon.
Ruthie, pleasure is all mine. I'm excited about this dance. What about you?
I am much more hopeful now than I was a minute ago. I must say, just been here. I was getting a little, a little nervous. I have an off time with people I have to manage, so it's hard to let loose, you could say, but I was told it's a good place to come, and now, well, I at least see one reason why it's the best place to be right now.
Well, you are one charmer. I could see that. So, how about we get something to drink and we see where the night takes us?
Absolutely, of course. Can I get you some sweet tea?
I would enjoy that.
Very good. Goes up or it gets 2 sweet teas, and you've been here long enough to see like the people of mind. The fact that he's not ordering tea, that he might even not know to order it or to ask for it, I should say. Like, he laughs, like he's a little off. What some might call a company man. A bit, and but he comes and brings it, and I would say, any reaction with Chuck or anything like that?
She would probably be while Dion's getting the drink. She would probably be looking at the band, like recognizing certain faces, but then see Chuck and just kind of, who's this new guy? Like, kind of give him a raised eyebrow, like, who are you and where did you come from, type thing.
You say Chuck notices her doing that?
Yeah, like you're watching a lot of this going on. It's up to you.
Okay. All right. Chuck watched them go. Because we said earlier, he noticed Ruthie approaching Dion, and he's watched them go back, and he notices when she looks his way, and he just sort of tilts his head, flashes a smile, nods slightly.
She probably blushes a little bit and then turns her head. She's like, and depending on how straight-laced this guy is she's talking to, she might, because it seems like he's pretty straight laced, isn't he?
It comes off very much that way.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So she might end up abandoning him and just to talk to Chuck a little bit later, after, like between sets, I guess.
Let's say, Chuck, you find yourself, as we established, this is very early, but you have had a certain transaction. And almost without thinking, your thumbs begin to pick and move just slightly. Most could not even hear it, and with all the noise being set up, it gets almost drowned out. But there's that moment when people are talking and getting ready, and no one really knows why, but it happens often that suddenly there's a lull that no one expects. A perfect beat where everyone breathes or is silent. And for the most second, something breaks through the noise. And it is in that half second of pure silence that is purely unintentional and coincidental that your music hits your ears. And you see Dan's eyes go black. Blacker than any coal you ever heard of or seen. A little bit of fire behind him. As he stares past Ruthie and at Hugh. And in the same moment, as the noise comes in together, there's the same blue-eyed, calm, reserved man who everyone knows does a good job of keeping everyone alive at those moments.
I think Chuck, sort of almost immediately at that, pulls his hand away from the strings. I don't know what. And Chuck sort of decides he's gonna keep an eye on this young lady and her potential young beau, because that was odd. He sort of shakes it off because he's got to play. He's got a tough audience to prepare for, but he's going to keep an eye on him.
Oh, yeah. Well, then the music begins to play. Get on the band and the picking begins. And the first song is a sweet melody. It gets everyone joining in, dancing, tapping their feet, clapping to the music. The second song is a more lively tune. And it starts off the same way. And at this, Ruthie, as you're trying to get into this, Dan does try to twirl you around a little bit. And this is what you get. Everyone else kind of has their, shoulders bent a little bit. He's still standing straight up. Almost like it was 200 years ago trying to do a hand dance or something. It's like, just keeping propriety.
She's just gonna stop. You need to relax your shoulders, like just kind of, and she'll kind of wiggle her shoulders around, showing him that he needs to like relax. Just relax. Just go with the flow. Just listen to the music, feel the music.
Absolutely, yes. Right, feel the music. Right, feel it. Feel. I'm feeling.
You're feeling the music.
Feeling
the music.
And then midway through this, Lainey starts playing a new song. Of course, you might not know this, but Chuck, you certainly know. You and the other band just stop playing. You don't know where she's going, and it doesn't sound like anything else. It breaks rules. It's wrong, but right, but true, but not. And after a moment's pause, one of the other members begins to join in. Is there anything that Chuck would be doing?
Chuck, as he stops and notices because the rest of the band, he's assumed at least knows her better. So he immediately kind of looks at them to verify that this is weird.
Yeah, they have looks of like surprise and what in the world, and they all kind of stop and they're trying to figure out how to come into it.
Okay, and when one of the other ones starts playing along, and I'm assuming is like kind of matching it, so so Chuck will sort of assume that okay, maybe this is something. She's a fine fiddler. Maybe this is something she does, and Chuck will start listening and trying to figure out how to join in. Try to figure out where he can slip in and focus on the music.
All right. Now you're a trained musician, so I think that's easy enough with everything you'd be able to pull. And you're like, all right. And you start adapting like everybody else, getting a good beat and backing her up. And now, Ruthie, you can see surprised looks on everyone's faces at the stage. And what's your reaction to this?
She probably I think she stops and just and listens and looks to see what's going on, and she's kind of just confused. She looks really confused at the moment.
Absolutely.
And once Chuck is kind of into it and has found it, he will, because he usually does, look out at the audience. Does he notice if the audience actually also looks surprised and...
They're trying to dance and they are surprised. And then all around as the song plays, the community members and your fellow musicians, Ruthie, your dancing partner, and those moving around, you can see they are changing. They start to appear visibly older. More wrinkles on their skin. Their hair going gray. Their spines growing crooked. Their lively dance steps slowing down. I need each of you to roll intellect defense to see if the music gets to you. Chuck, we're going to give you... You're playing... I think because of some things we know about Chuck, we're just going to give an asset off the top, and then you can do anything else.
We'll put he's got intellect defense training, and I will put effort. I'll put effort into it.
Okay.
So.
I will put effort. I've got 2 effort and 2 edge. I've got 2 edge and intellect, and I have 2 effort. So,
so you can it would be 5 minutes. It would be 3 if you want to put 2 effort into this.
3. Okay, that works. And yeah, all I've got is speed defense.
All right. Blood Royal Challenge.
Oh, fuck. 4.
That's not going to cut it.
I have 1 XP.
You can use it if you want.
I think I'm gonna have to do that too
Oh,
because I didn't roll much better. So
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
use XP as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, that's a lot better. 19.
Oh, very nice.
And there is a 12.
All right. Now 19, you could do a little bit of a minor effect here, Ruby. What's like you could think of where you'd like Ruby to be in this, or as this is all happening, or anything else you think Ruby could get out of this?
She probably. I think she. To like get out of like away from the music, like out of the building. Is that what you mean?
It could, or it could be within the building, or
She. You know what? She probably would have made it next to the stage, and as they were dancing around, because Dion probably tried to do some sort of waltz thing,
mm-hmm.
and so her and Charlie are probably closer together. Or Chuck. Her and Chuck are probably
Yeah,
closer
you get
together.
Chuck over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as she's looking around and seeing the only other person besides her that this is not affecting is Chuck, and she just stares at him like wide-eyed, like, what do we do?
Absolutely. As you all stare, the band has stopped. But not Leanie. Leanie doesn't seem to be getting older, but she's playing the fiddle with a kind of frenzy, almost as if she's unable to stop. Just keeps going and faster in pace, her eyes, pupils dilated, the band staring at her. The Effie for singing. Her voice grows cracked and strained. Even so, her long black hair turns wide at the temples. It almost looks like she's shrinking, as if her spine's growing shorter. She just looks angry at what is happening.
So Charlie will have stopped playing at this point. And I assume we'll notice that Ruthie is, again, the only other person seemingly not being affected by this. And so he'll actually come to the edge of the stage, kind of wearily looking around, and kind of lean down and go, Miss, are you seeing what's going on?
So I'm not going crazy?
Well, unless we're both going crazy. I'm new to this area. I assume this is not a normal occurrence.
I've never seen this.
As y'all doing this, you see Dayan go, Ruthie, where'd you go? And it's like staring right at you, but seeming like they can't see you as they trip over someone else and fall flat on their face.
It's got to do with something with the fiddle, with the fiddling stuff thing.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Hang on a moment, and Chuck will get up and try to approach Lena, and maybe even like initially kind of wave his hand in front of her face, try to get a sense if she's conscious at all about what's going on.
Stare at her face, and there is a look you've only seen in a trapped animal on her face as the fiddle just keeps it going.
Can you get it from her?
Yeah, so that's who's thinking. Okay. Yeah. Oh, hang on. He's gonna try to see if he can grab hold of her arm and physically restrain her from playing. Saying all the time, saying, I know you're paying my bills, Miss Reeves, but I'm hoping you'll forgive me for this later." And he tries to grab hold of her arm to stop the fiddling.
Absolutely. Give me a might challenge, please.
Early's good at that. Let's see. That is a 7.
A 7. That's actually enough.
Uh,
You carry the band's luggage and stuff, and she carries her fiddle. You got a little bit more than her. As you take it off in a thing, and she kind of stops and looks around confused and sits down, out of breath. And her pupils in her eyes shrink down, looking normal. And it's almost as if Leanie was not there. And now she is. And just looks, what's going on? Why are we sitting on a stage instead of playing?
well, so apologies, Miss Laney. You were let's just say you were not playing the set that we had agreed upon, and I'm not sure what's happening to everybody else in here. What does the audience look like to you right now?
What, did all the young people leave?
These are the young people. Well, they used to be young people.
What?
I mean, I don't. He'll look to Ruthie. Can you point out? I don't know any of these people, Miss. Can you point out who some of
She
them
just
are?
looks very confused.
Yeah, that's Dion right there. She points to the man on the floor.
You know, I say that man couldn't see his nose spot his face. Looks like it's happened to him.
They just grew old all of a sudden with your music.
My music.
Yeah, with
Certainly
your
something.
fiddling.
Something you were playing. But look at our singer. We'll point to the woman who was singing.
Voice cracking and you can see she's going about trying to remember people's names almost.
What is happening?
But then you all see, so you can see the crowd now a little bit off. You see Miss Odessa with a near immunity, but only near. You see her hair grow gray, and then she blinks and it turns black. It's as if she gets suddenly weak and wrinkly, and then she breathes heavily, and her skin returns to normal. Whatever she's doing, it appears that she's using a lot of energy and focus to keep that way.
Oh.
I think she might know more about what's going on than my
Mm-hmm.
You said I was just playing the fiddle. I mean, I've just felt compelled to play that song.
Oh.
I just, ever since it got fixed.
Was it broken?
Yeah. That's my dad, isn't? I just needed some tuning and needed some restringing and all that and repairing. It had some holes in it. and I always wanted to. That's what I learned on, and I wanted that back.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to play my dad's fiddle again, and this found a luthier. Traveling through town. What's his name? Pollard Barrels. And he fixed it. Did a good job too. It's beautiful. But I guess ever since then, it's like every time I touched it, that song's just in me, wanting to come out, and I just couldn't stop it.
Chuck's gonna look at the fiddle because he doesn't play the fiddle, but he plays string instruments. He's gonna look and see if there's something unusual about, like like something about the patchwork or something that looks off.
You stare at that, inspect it, turn it round. It seems nothing. Let's see. I guess give me an intellect challenge. What'd you get?
It's an 18.
18. Yeah, you stare at it. And you listen. And no one's strumming it. But it's playing something. There's a song that comes from this fiddle. And as you listen, it is as though it's been betrayed and seeks to punish those who would betray and steal or enjoy the fruits of those who do.
And he puts the fiddle down very gently and says, "All right, for the moment, Miss Lena, we're going to put it right here. Maybe even like put it over in the case or something so it's cushioned, and be like, for the moment, let's not touch that.
All right.
Just for the moment till we sort of figure out what's going on." He looks back at Ruthie. Would Chuck know Miss Odessa?
Everybody knows Miss Odessa.
Okay. All right. So he will look over at Ruth and go, "I think maybe Miss Odessa, she certainly seems to know more about what's going on than we do."
Okay. Yeah, I'll go grab her.
Okay.
Yeah, so Miss Odessa! Miss Odessa!
She goes, what? You two? Well, aren't you the blessed ones?
I don't feel very blessed. There's something going on with that violin or that fiddle.
Really?
Yeah.
You're saying it's doing something?
Yeah. It's
But I've heard that fiddle before. That's her paws. I've heard him play it 1,000 times. She do something to it?
Apparently there was somebody that came through that could fix it, and he fixed it, and apparently a little too well, and did something to it.
Oh my. I've heard of something like this happen before.
Huh?
Yes, not unprecedented, child. Now listen, you two. Don't keep these blessings for yourself. You're one of the only two it looks like can manage anything. You need Did she tell you who this Uthir was?
Uh,
Yeah, it was a Paul. I think it was Paul.
Pollard.
Pollard. Yeah, it was a Pollard. Not barrels, but something close to that. A Pollard. Bears. Bales.
Oh.
Sorry.
Pollard Bales.
Yeah. All right. Now listen, you find him. You get to the bottom of this. He did something. He might not even know what he did, so you're gonna have to listen. And even if he does know, he might not be ready to talk. You gotta put some charm. You know how to do that, Ruthie. And she looks at Chuck.
I'm pretty charming.
Exactly. So, you gonna do this for Miss Odessa?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. As you say, we seem to be the only ones. Perhaps the only ones who can. Right. And he'll offer, sort of put out his hand, offer his arm. It's Ruthie, yes?
Oh yeah, Ruthie. Yes, and she
And
just
as you're
called.
doing that, when you just real quick, when you agree, she goes, and she leans down, and out of her boot, she pulls out like a big knife. She goes, "Take this with you, wherever it may go, and wherever good it can give you." Right? And she looks at the knife and goes, "Now you listen. You be good, and help those who need you. You understand? I said, do you understand?" That's right. She hands it over.
Ruby will take it.
Chuck
All
just kind of shakes it off because he's yelled at his guitar before, so. Yeah, so Ruthie. Ruthie, is it?
Yes. And Chuck, right?
Yes, Chuck Johnson. Pleasure. Well, pleasure to meet you. Circumstances could use some work, but
Yeah, that's definite. Yes. All right, I guess we better go find this Pollard guy.
Chuck will make sure to grab his guitar, sort of throw it into its case, throw the case over his back, and bring it with him.
All right. Very good. Oops. Right, and handouts. I did give you a Miss Odessa's ceramic knife. So what do you? How you want to go about this? You just know a name.
All right. So
You do know some of you gossip. Some people know everybody's business here.
yeah.
Is there a sense that, I don't know if we can tell, that anyone outside of the dance has been affected?
It doesn't appear so. As you kind of look, there's some people around but weren't in the building when the music was played.
Okay.
There.
All right. So yeah, I want to go to the town gossip.
All right. Well, that would be Effie.
All right, we're gonna go. Okay. Chuck, we need to go to Effie. She knows everything about everyone and who's doing who and what's doing who and all that other stuff. So let's go find her. She should know where. She should have a lead.
All right. Lead the way.
All right. We'll head that way.
As you see, you come to Effie. Looks like Aurelia is taking care of her. And Effie's voice is cracked and strained. And she's just kind of mad. No one to direct her rage at. She goes, what do y'all want?
We need to find. We need to find. God, I just forgot his name.
Pollard
Pollard.
Bales.
Yeah,
Bales.
Pollard Bales.
The one who supposedly fixed Ms. Reeves' fiddle?
Right. I'm sorry, honey. What was your name again?
Who's she looking at?
You, Ruthie.
I'm Ruthie.
Right. Was it?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is not good.
But you said the fix Luthier.
Ruthie.
Right, but Ruthie wanted the Luthier.
Yeah.
Pollard.
Pollard. After I saw that boarding place on the street down by that water that has a name that I saw on my way here.
Okay.
Is there a boarding house in town?
A
Miss
boarding
Ruthie?
house.
Is there a boarding house in town?
There is.
Okay.
Gilman's boarding house.
Yeah, there is. There's Gilman's. Oh no.
I mean,
Okay, we should check there. We should check there.
Okay. Just you keep your. He'll turn to Effie and be like, keep your vocal cords. Keep your voice relaxed.
Just have a seat.
Yeah,
Just
we'll
get some tea. If you can.
Hey. Yeah, to get some tea. That sounds really nice. I don't know if she remembers what tea is, since Aurelia, but I guess we're getting it.
Let's go, Chuck.
All right. on the way to the boarding, I'm assuming that Ruthie is going to lead him to the boarding house. On the way to the boarding house, Chuck will say to Ruthie, "I'm sorry about your I'm sorry about all the folks in there, but I'm sorry about your young beau there, Miss Ruthie."
Oh, him? He's not really my type. Kind of a stick in the mud, if you ask me.
Danson was
Old fashioned?
I was going to say just a few, perhaps decades on a time, but some people like the older stuff.
Well, it just, I don't know, the way he danced, it's also like he had like a broom handle shoved up his butt.
Chuck sort of, well, I can picture that.
Yeah,
Sure, paint a picture. Miss Ruthie.
I'm sorry. My daddy. He always told me I needed to have better manners, but you know, it's whatever. Yeah, I don't see nothing. I don't see anything coming of that. I think he's better off finding somebody who's a little bit more, I guess, wifey material.
Okay. You're not wifey material. That would.
Oh, I'm just passing through.
Oh.
Yeah.
On your way somewhere?
Yeah. I'm thinking about heading up to New York.
Chuck whistles. Ooh, that's definitely going to be a change of scenery.
You're telling me. It'll be interesting though, see what happens. Oh. But can you believe what's happening? Like, I've never seen anything like this.
Played plenty of halls and juke joints that devolved into unseemly sights, but never quite like this.
Never seen people just age in like 90 years in less than 30 seconds.
Quite that fast. I've seen I've seen a drink do a number on someone's apparent age, but never anything like that. And I don't know what music she was playing. I didn't tell this to Miss Odessa, but when I was holding her fiddle, I kept hearing the music.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't her playing it, so certainly never seen that before.
Man, that some weird stuff. I don't know what to make of it.
Pay a visit to Mr. Bales and see if we can't get something out of him.
Yeah. I hope we can. Let's. Oh, I really hope he's there. I don't know. I don't remember anybody new coming through.
If he's not, they might at least, I don't know, kind of records the boarding house keeps, if it keeps any.
Mm-hmm. All right. I should probably hurry up before they all die of old age in there. Maybe they'll break a hip or something. I don't know.
All right. So make your way to Gilman's boarding house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a smaller building on the edge of town, the northern part. A reputation for its no-nonsense rules and excellent meals. Both know the two partners that run it together, Ruth Gilman and Biddy Connor. Ruth's a tiny woman with a big dress and bigger presence, and good at sussing out what people need. And Biddy's named for her size, because she is tall and broad. And there's nothing Biddy about her. She does all the repairs, keeps the boarders in line, and she sees to it that someone takes care of Ruth, while Ruth takes care of everyone else. As you come in, Ruth looks at all of you in a large dress, turns around. No bows or anything like that, just as if your presence went on the wind. And she looks at you. Right. Second floor, third on the left. He's been in there 2 days.
2 days? Okay. Thank you, Miss Ruth.
Right. Well, it's good you asked about him.
Yep, let's go.
Chuck sort of vaguely, barely has a chance to sort of tip his hat and then get dragged away. Is that, all right.
Yeah, she just knows. I don't know how, but she just knows.
Hey.
As they get to the door and she knocks on it.
No response.
Pollard?
Nothing.
She'll try the door handle.
It's locked.
Well,
Chuck will put his ear to the door, see if he can hear any kind of movement or anything inside.
You can hear the soft sounds of moaning, as if in great pain.
Someone in there is not doing well, Miss Ruthie. I don't know if the proprietress has a key to get in.
well, there's only one way to find out. As she runs downstairs, Miss Ruth.
As you come downstairs, I need a speed test to keep the key from hitting you in your head.
No, speed defense. All right, I am trained in speed defense.
You got it.
10. No, 19 again.
Oh wow! Just in time, you put your hand up. Ah! As it goes. Right. Good thing. Good. You thought to ask me about that.
Uh-huh. Thank you. She runs back upstairs. Here you go.
I think Chuck is starting to feel like, all right, well, we're gonna open this door, but I'm getting the sense that something wants us to be doing this and is making it real easy.
All right. Probably, but just okay.
So you open the door, and inside the small room, the air smells of freshly cut wood and rotting fruit. You see a man who you assume is the Pollard Bales in question, curled up on the floor, moaning in pain and shivering. Seeing you, he starts to say, no, leave me alone, no more.
Hang on, friend, hang on. We're not here to cause any more pain than you're already in. What's ailing you? What's hurting, sir?
Everything. It's all here. You're not even real. Nothing's real. My mind has left me. I left it. I gave it away. I did not do what I was asked, and now everything is gone.
Okay, you would.
If you'd like to try to help him somehow, you could. But it's up to you.
Yeah. So Chuck will look at Ruthie. Should we sit him up or try to? He says everything's hurting. I don't know. Maybe if there's a pillow, we at least get under him.
Well, yeah. She wants to. Yeah. We'll start doing that. Let's start doing that. And she's actually going to try and start talking to him. Try to help him, like, get some semblance of getting a foot back on the ground, so to speak.
Okay. Give him some food and water, and go ahead and give me an intellect task.
All right. And would persuasion help with this?
I'd let that ease, yeah.
I'm specialized, so.
Ooh, 2 steps for you.
13.
See him. He begins to breathe. And as you give him food, he kind of grabs your wrists and tugs and squeezes gently. You both are real.
Yes. Yeah, we're real. We're real. What happened? What's going on?
You don't want to know. Why are you in my room?
You fixed you fixed the fiddle just recently.
Yeah?
It's doing something weird.
What's it doing? You mean out of tune?
Chuck, you know better than I do.
So the Miss Reeves, when she started playing a piece of music that none of the rest of us in the band had ever heard. And as she did so, everyone in the dance hall, with the exception of my lovely friend here and I, started to age rapidly.
No. No.
Well,
I'm afraid so, sir.
No!
Calm. Just.
It's
No, it's all my fault.
Okay, well, how do we? Okay,
Oh my!
But it's obvious you didn't mean it to be your fault. So
you
let's.
didn't want to do it, did you?
No.
Okay, do you know how to fix it?
I travel all up and down the state. And I was coming here to offer my services, and I thought I'd take a shortcut through the wood along the southern border of the town. But then I got to this laurel grove. It was thick. And I kept on wandering. All through it, as if there was no end. And those words, the Laurel Grove, that if you wander into, you might never find your way out. Both of you would have heard that being talked about, never to go near Jimmy's hell. I honestly don't know if I was in there days or weeks. Or maybe I was there longer. I surely thought I was dead. Then I became... There was this giant talking tree. I was sure I was hallucinating. Sure I was paying for all my sins on the way to meet my maker. Lord knows I had many. But that tree was as big as a dozen men. And it told me things. It told me the way out. And it asked me to do something. It just said to take some of her wood and use it in some instruments to help spread her voice around. That's what she asked me to do.
So you use some of the wood from this tree to fix the fiddle.
Yeah, she wanted her voice spread.
Oh, it seems that voice ages people.
I'm sorry to hear that. Truly I am.
Do you remember which pieces you fixed with this wood?
I mean, I know I did a fiddle here
Uh-huh.
a few days ago. And then I started to feel sick and weak. I've been in this room ever since. Listen, you gotta help me. I've got a family waiting for me back in paradise. I didn't mean to. I can't go back.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get this fixed. We just got to figure out how to fix it. Maybe if you take the wood out of the fiddle?
Give me. Well, yeah, I guess I just go out of fiddle. Hey, no, I mean, what's done is done. I mean, I can't undo it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how.
Okay.
She just wanted her voice spread, right? I mean, that doesn't sound bad. Someone says your voice spread, you just spread the voice. You understand, right? I just wanted.
I get it. She looks at Chuck.
So she wanted the. Okay, the sense I got from the music, sir, was one of. It was the opposite of that. It's like the music was punishing those who were listening to it. Like it didn't want to be used. But that seems counter to what this... And he stops for a moment as he realizes he's about to say talking tree.
Okay.
His eyes get wide for a moment. He's like, we're gonna. I'm just gonna roll with this for now. But talking tree said to you,
I'm going to give you a lot of the assets and different things you're doing here.
Mhm.
He's lying to you.
Okay, yeah.
You
So
can see it when you're putting this together in his reactions.
okay, so Chuck will notice. Yeah, I see some of that saying. Yeah, it doesn't really. I know that you're in a lot of pain right now, and I don't want to make this any worse, but that none of that is going to go away unless you tell us the whole story. Tell us what actually happened.
Give me a persuasion test. Or actually, I'm sorry, intellect test really can do what you like to do it.
Can I add something to it before?
Yeah, would you like to add?
Yeah, I think what Chuck will actually say is, "Sir, I've been traveling, much like I think you have for a long time, and I've told my fair share of fibs as well. Sometimes it's necessary. Keep yourself out of trouble, keep yourself out of certain places, and keep yourself safe. But at this point, we are only going to be able to help you if you level with us. So,
All right.
let's see. Come on, is that good? Ooh, that's a
We're gonna-
17.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Sorry.
All right. All right. All right. Well, you're right. I did make a bargain with the tree, but I didn't keep it. The tree told me that she was a prisoner, trapped there, and she wished to be free. She offered me a piece of her wood that would show me the way out, as long as I promised that I would return and free her. I said yes, but I was too afraid to go back. I mean, really? Talking trees, that Laurel? Everyone seemed to just think that Laurel's meant to be. Anyway. Eventually, I told myself that it was all just a hallucination created from my starved, lost mind. But I used the wood from that tree to fix Leanie's fiddle a few days ago. And then I just started to feel sick and weak and just stayed in the rooms. Please help me. My family, they gotta know me. Who knows?
It sounds
I gotta
like
get back to paradise.
okay. It sounds like we need to go and free this tree.
I can't go back. I ain't going back.
You're gonna go back.
Tell you what, why don't you go, you feed a tree.
It wasn't our promise.
You do see that he is deathly ill.
Okay.
It's like you've calmed him down, but he coughs like if you would come, you'd be able to figure out a way to kind of move him on his own. It would be quite an ordeal, but you could do it.
All right.
Chuck will just gently put his hand on Ruthie's arm and say, "Well, this one don't look like he's gonna make it very far. You don't have to. You certainly don't have to come, Ruthie. But I think the only way we're gonna get around this is if one of us attempts to do so." And so Chuck will turn to. Oh,
No, I'll go. I mean, I got this. Is she? I got the. I've got Miss Odessa's knife, and I think she gave that to me for a reason. And two is better than one.
Yes, she did say that we were stuck in this together. So Chuck will actually sort of flash his smile again and say, "Well, I guess you're stuck with me for a while, Ruthie, until we get this sorted."
I guess so. It's fine. Well, all right.
Usually, young ladies are more enthusiastic about that, but I understand the circumstances are a little
It's a little stressful. Okay,
stressful, of course.
let's get him in bed and.
Well, and Chuck is going to turn to him and be like, "So exactly, did the tree tell you how to get back and how to free her?"
Well, you both know where Jimmy's hell is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a farm that's easy to access it by. Though why anyone would want easy access to that is beyond everybody. But the wood led me out, and I just had to promise to come back.
Well, I guess we're going. Let's get you actually in the bed. You don't need to be down here on the floor all sick and everything.
All right, in you go.
Again,
Chuck will pick him and get him in bed. She didn't, by chance, say that you had to return the wood as well, did she?
No, it was just about setting her free.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess when we get there, we're going to have to ask her how to set her free.
Suppose so.
Well, I guess the faster we get, we should probably hurry up.
Yeah. So, before you go, is there a general store and anything? And is there anything that you normally you can think of anything that you might want to make sure you have? But with that, we're going to end for tonight. Now we need to go get in some things, and who knows what Ruthie and Chuck actually accomplished there. But we can see already they're a little bit of gentle ribbon, and the mysterious things that brought these two together. That why when some things went down in another town in Neighbor County, they took it a little more stride than most people might think. But hope anyone watching enjoyed Old Gods of Appalachia, and we will see you next week. Good night, family.
Good night, family.